to all of us, it has been a tough year, and most of us, we don't really talk about it. I mean, we talk about things that generally are, that generally everybody knows, like the economy is down, it sucks that the borders are closed, but still we put on brave faces and we post happy posts and we just move forward. I thought that it's time for me to share my personal story of what this situation has done to me and to my business. And I hope to inspire you guys to share yours, the real story, not the pretty story, because that way we can learn about each other, the real stuff about each other, and maybe we can even help each other somehow, and we can find some kind of way to cooperate and to get on the other side. So, my year didn't start well from the beginning because the general economy was going down already, and so my company numbers were dropping. But I like cut down some expenses, I invested a little bit in marketing, so it was looking pretty well. And by the summer, I should have been back on the horse. I was making some deals, so I could have like other businesses supporting this business. Everything was looking pretty well. And when the crisis happened, when the whole virus situation happened, the world just shut down, and for everyone it's been a strong hit, and some people were hit much more than the others. But I want to tell my story, and so I'll start from when just the coronavirus started to kind of activate the changes in the economy. We started to get, like, my company Moscow Suites, that is a service apartments company. It started to have less and less clients, and we started to have first cancellations. Then the lockdown happened, and so the customs were closed. So we started to get a lot of cancellations and non-new bookings. So our numbers started to drop like really rapidly. We went to a bit of a panic mode. The next was the full lockdown, where we could not leave the house, and that's where my business came to full stop. We had 0 clients, so all of our apartments were just completely empty, nothing was happening, we couldn't leave the house. The bills were still coming, we still had to pay rent, we still had to pay, all sorts of bills. I'm not going to go into details of the business. So we had to basically just cut down dramatically. Then in the middle of lockdown, I've had even worse news. I went to a regular checkup and I found a growth in my uterus. So I had to do a pretty invasive operation to get rid of it and to check for cancerous cells. Because I have a predisposition to cancer, that really bumped me out. Plus the whole medical procedure was really unpleasant and painful. The recovery was pretty hardcore, and I had to take a lot of medicine. I'm still taking a lot of medicine. I couldn't work out for quite some time, so that led to mild depression. So yeah, that didn't really work out really well for me. What happened next? Next, the lockdown was finished. The official lockdown, the borders are still closed, but we can walk around. I got my results back. I didn't have a cancer, so that was good news. But I still have to take like a lot of hormones, and it affects my moods and affects all sorts of stuff. So on top of all of the financial situation that I'm in, that was highly unpleasant. So that leads us to today. So what am I doing today? I don't know right now if my apartment business is ever going to recover, because even as the borders are opening, I don't really see dramatic changes into the clientele. We have some clients, but of all of the apartments we have, we had to cut down to 4. So we only have 4 apartments now, and they're half of the time they're empty. When they're booked out for a very low price. So I decided to focus on something that I can control. So a lot of you know that I have been managing a band for a little over a year. I've learned some things during this process. It was like my kind of like a test project to see if I can do it. It started as a hobby and turned into something I really like doing. So now, because I want to focus on things that I actually can control and not on my business that I build that like I can't, I wanted to try to create something, and this is what I want to talk about today. I have a few bands now in my portfolio, and the number will grow as long as I allow it to grow it, because there's a lot of bands that require representation. I'm just not skilled enough right now to actually manage many bands because I just don't have enough experience at this point. I do have a business education, and I have 11 years of experience of working in show business, so I have a little bit of a background in there. And I do really love rock music, so that helps me to be really passionate about this. What I want to create is a sort of platform that unites a particular type of musicians, and then cooperate this platform with bars, different spots, like event spots. Then I want to connect it with event managers, and then in the future with commercial agencies and movie industry. So that way, it's kind of an ecosystem that sustains itself. Why do I think it's a good platform? It's a good idea, and why do I think it's different from anything else that has been created already before? It's because during this year of working for a band, I realized that there's a gap exists where I can bring some value, because if we talk about labels, music labels, they take rights from the musicians on their creation, but they don't really return anything that valuable for that pretty big price. And kind of there creates a lot of disinformation. It creates price depreciation and unnecessary competition. On the other hand, the places that want to hire musicians, they are like they're lacking the knowledge of how to make this investment profitable. And basically they want to have live music in either their events or their bars, but they don't know what kind of bands they can hire, for what kind of price, how it's going to pay out, how they're going to get their money back, or how they're going to get the best quality. So that's where my knowledge, I think, comes in, and it's really something that I feel like can be helpful, although it's not really that much of a new idea. I believe that it's not about how new the idea is, it's about how well you can execute the idea, and it's about how well you find a spot where this actually brings a lot of value. So I believe I can do that. That's my story for now. If you want to somehow participate in this, if you want to learn more about what I'm planning to do, if you want to partner with me, or maybe you want to come up with some kind of suggestions, please feel free to write to me. I'll be very happy to hear any ideas. And thanks for listening to my story. I hope I encourage you to share yours. Be brave and tell what's really happening, and maybe that way we can find a way of cooperating and surviving this hell of a crisis that's happening right now. Bye!